Welcome back to the Sphinx's Tales YouTube channel. I am your hostess, the Sphinx. Now, today's video has taken a long time to make because it's been kicking around in my head for so long. Initially, I was going to talk about what is quote-unquote wrong with modern society until I realized that nothing I would say would be really useful at this point. The issues that are present in modern society, poor lifestyles, high inequality, and lack of meaningful connections, have already been talked about to death by both the left and the right. So instead, I'm going to go talk about what I believe in, why I'm not a conservative, nor am I a liberal. I am instead going to call myself a disaffected leftist. I will explain what this means later. So firstly, why am I not conservative? Simply put, I don't believe that our traditions and religions are the best way to do things. There are plenty of societies around the world and in the past that I would consider to be superior to the West. The Muso of China, the Minangkabau of Indonesia, the Iroquois Indians of the Great Plains, and so on and so forth. The way that their societies are run are far superior to that typically seen in the West. I'm also not very socially conservative. I think that homosexuality is totally okay and that gay marriage is fine. I also don't really have many objections to abortion before 18 weeks, where at that point pain has a good possibility of occurring in the fetus. I also love nature and hate its exploitation and its destruction by technological capitalism. I also don't like capitalism a lot, as even though I understand that most of the communist experiments around the world did not work out too well, I hate capitalism and I think it rewards corrupt psychopaths and protects them from any sort of justice. Not to mention it promotes other exploitative behaviors. There's also the fact that runaway environmental degradation and inequality can lead to the collapse of societies, at least the past ones anyways, and those things are both present in our modern capitalist society. Despite these beliefs, however, I'm not really a leftist either. I'm not a leftist because the current leftist movement is embarrassing themselves as if the slightest gust of wind can knock them over. They constantly obsess over every word said about this or that group and are trying to clean history of anything deemed dirty, regardless of how obscure the slight is. It gets even worse when they try to defend things like Islam when it's connected to a minority group of sorts, not knowing that they're being played like a cheap fiddle by the Islamists, who are in the end despise everything they are and will have them thrown off a roof in 5 seconds if they could. Because of this, they are also completely ignore the situation at the border and how potential Chinese spies and terrorists from the Middle East are sneaking in from enemy countries and are doing things like trying to attack our military bases. They also deny basic biology, and they think that one can be literally anything they want just because they identify, quote unquote, as that thing. They don't believe that any sort of past biological trends of human history can affect people living today, and would rather just stick their head in the sand and call everybody a bigot if they try to point it out. They are also obsessed with destroying hierarchy, which, I hate to break it to you, is kind of inevitable, especially in a system where there are massive surpluses of resources. It may be possible someday to have a society that is fairer than the one we are in, but society isn't a bunch of Lego blocks that you could just knock over and then build back up into the thing that you want. It's an endless torrent of wills caught in an eternal struggle against one another within the cultural context that they are in. The people that believe we can have a revolution of some sort and thus completely start from scratch are completely delusional. So where does that leave me? Why do I say I'm a disaffected leftist? What does that even mean? Well, according to every political test that I have taken, I always land on the libertarian left, or at least what is equivalent to that. I have never been beholden to one simple ideological system, even though I am aware of the certain merits of individual past systems. Instead, I believe that life in and of itself is inherently imperfect, the only escape being a possible afterlife with an eternal bliss of sorts. While we're on this rock, however, we have to contend with all the bullshit on it and make it the best that we can. I'm not beholden to any one ideological system because I believe that all systems have merit in some way or another in describing the world, and that we need to take what we can from those systems and try to apply it to our system to hopefully make it better. The only reason I would say that I'm a leftist of any sort is because I despise hierarchy, especially the type that we have today, which seems particularly disgusting and shameful in its actions, and would like to see replaced by a system that doesn't allow such evil behavior to evolve. As far as I can tell anyways, I'm some sort of leftist syndicalist because that society seems the best way to fit that goal. Anyways, that's my ideology, if you can call it that. And I hope next time you can stick around and see me cover the Trump assassination attempt. Thanks for watching.